Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 13. So this week, what we're going to be doing is finishing up our research project part one. It looks like somebody's already turned it in. Great. So anyway, what we're doing this week is we are going to do our final source that's required for a separate assignment, and that is the podcast. And so just make sure that you fill this out. Hopefully the instructions are pretty clear here, but you just want to find any podcast that's going over your topic. You don't have to listen to the whole podcast. You can usually find an episode description or in a transcript that should give you like a quote and be able to help you summarize the source. If you're having any trouble citing or anything like that, please check out these instructions. And then if you're still kind of confused or having any trouble, please reach out. Just kind of, I hope you're noticing that each week as you're turning in these assignments, I'm giving you suggestions for how to fix citations or any other comments on your submission. It's possible I'm not catching everything, but I'm trying to do my best so that you can make changes now before you submit it'll be worth a lot more points once you submit it for the project. Um, and so one other thing I would encourage you to do is this week, since the project is due this week, I would suggest going ahead and starting to fill in this worksheet for those of you who are not yet doing that. And just remember, you just go to File and then make a copy if you want to make a Google Docs version, or you go to Download if you want to make this in Word or some other form. The other thing I want to remind you of is please, 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 please make sure that before I get there, make sure you fill in sources 9 and 10. I've had some students this week asking me in my in-class meetings if they have to fill in sources 9 and 10. Yes. You just want to make sure you fill these in with wildcard. They can be any kind of source you want. You just want to make sure that you fill these in. So it has to be filled in. It's just not a required type of source. And then the thing I was going to remind you of is that please remember to put the citations on the works cited page. This is worth 4.5 points out of 15, and so it's a lot of points. So just make sure that you put them down here. I know it's really common to forget. If you forget, it's okay. You can always resubmit, but it will make a major hit on your grade if you don't have citations down here. So I just want to give you one extra reminder. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that, and one other thing is like, if you look back in here, there's the research, overview video of the project. There's also a sample research project part one. And so this can give you some ideas of what my expectations are and, how I made everything look in the worksheet, because this is something that I filled out myself. The other resources that could be helpful this week are both in the module. One, and I'll share them in the announcements too. One is how to cite social media. So don't forget to fill in that social media source. There's some different suggestions here for how to get that cited. And then the other one that I wanted to tell you about is a book. I think I take it for granted books because they're so easy to cite. It's like the first type of MLA citation. So it's really, really basic and simple. So this is how you cite it. You just do last name, first name, and then the title in italics, the publisher of the book, and the year. And so I have some information here about how to find all of this information. Usually with the publisher, like for example, I can show you maybe in a separate video, or I'll give you a suggestion in the announcement. But basically, if you follow this, hopefully that'll help you get the citation done. And if you're having any trouble figuring out who the publisher is or anything like that, let me know. I don't expect you to read the whole book, but you should be able to see some pages of it either through Google Books or a preview on Amazon, and you could get a quote from that. And then you should be able to get a pretty good summary just from reading like the description of the book. If you're having any trouble finding a book or figuring out how to cite it, please reach out to me. But I wanted to go ahead and share this. And since we only have one assignment this week because of the day off, I'm also going to go ahead and give you this as an extra credit assignment. If anybody wants to go ahead and turn this in, I don't know if I'll be able to, unless you turned it in early, I'm probably not going to be able to give you feedback before you submit, or if you get an extension on the project, I guess I could give you feedback. But this might be just like a good excuse to get an extra point since you're having to do it anyway. I think that's everything this week. I hope this project's going well. I think a lot of you are doing really great work and research. And just kind of keep in mind that turn in what you have. And then if you end up needing to make any changes, you can always revise and resubmit for a higher grade. And so if you're like, I'm stuck, I don't know how to cite this or something like that, I can always give you some suggestions and feedback to help you out. But also don't forget, you can always reach out to me by email or make an appointment. All right. I think that's everything. Have a good week. Good luck with your writing, and I will see you all next time. Oops.